Turkish Airlines Euroleague. I feel devotion.
In this episode, in the Game of the Week, a young talent talks to us, Malaga's Augusto Lima. Barcelona's CJ Wallace and Real's Carlos Suarez tell us how to help a winning team. We met a rising star and a reigning champion, Costas Papanikolaou of Olympiacos. And finally, we have the bwin MVP and the fantastic top three. It's not unusual for Spanish basketball teams to welcome a young Brazilian prospect and turn him into a great international player. That's what Unicaja Malaga is trying to do with Augusto Cesar Lima, class of 1991, who has played almost every game this season, proving that he is on the right path. The work that Malaga is doing with its youth teams was the main reason why Lima wanted to go there when he was a teenager.
I prefer to come here because, when I'm young, you can go to USA to make high school, to make something. I prefer to come here to make better my basketball. I want one thing like this for me, to make better day after day. And everybody talk good things to Malaga, and I come here, and I love my club.
In the previous years, coach Yasmin Repeza had no problems about giving his young players playing time. Although Lima has averaged less than 10 minutes per game this season, his coach has shown him he can get more time if he feels that he can be decisive. It happened when Unicaja won at CSKA Moscow in top 16 week 5 and Lima played 26 minutes.
With him, I really work hard every day. If he's hard, everybody know this. He make me better day after day. For sure I use this on the future.
Sometimes as a sports fan you can hear the word saudade mentioned when it comes to Brazilian athletes. It means longing for home or a strong sense of homesickness, but Lima tends to concentrate on the positive aspects.
I miss my family and my food for sure, but I like too much Spain. I like too much Malaga because I feel in my home. I feel like when I'm born here. And I'm really happy here. This is my second family.
Lima seems genuinely ecstatic to be with Unicaja, and there are 3 good reasons to love Malaga.
People, beach, and I love seeing my gym full. I love this. I love people in Malaga. I feel great, I feel better. I look at the gym and I say, oh my gosh, this is incredible.
Augusto Lima and his teammates were coming into our Game of the Week 1 game behind 4th place in Group E and 2 from CSKA Moscow, with the chance to make it 2-0 against the Russian powerhouse. A huge Turkish Airlines Euroleague basketball battle was about to start. No team could take any significant dominance in the first half. However, Unicaja was the better team at the end of the second quarter, as they took a 4-point lead, also thanks to a massive block by Lima on Victor Criapa before Earl Calloway's layup. There was no real leader in the third quarter, as Zoran Dragic and Zoran Erceg were trading blows for both sides, and the Slovenian player of Unicaja hit a buzzer-beating layup to put his team back level after 30 minutes. In the last quarter, it was all about who was coolest under pressure. Unicaja took a 6-point lead quickly, but CSKA answered back. With 3 long-range shots in a row, Vlado Mitsov and Milos Teodosic twice gave their side a 4-point lead. Sunny Weems finished the job with a decisive play with 17 seconds to go. The Russian team won 70-66 and clinched qualification for the playoffs. CSKA's ability to fight until the very end is very much down to Sasha Kaun's impressive job in the paint. He scored 16 points with 7 for 8 from the field and blocked 2 shots in only 24 minutes, becoming our player of the game.
We kind of, try not to look at the last game because we didn't play good and Unicaja played really great. And we know coming into this game we have to just play defense, do easy things. And game wasn't really going really good for us. We had a lot of turnovers, especially in first 3 quarters. And really hurt us. Scored a lot of layups and stuff, but we still hung in there. We battled and we come back with a win. So it was really good.
Do not look for his name among the top scorers or among the best assist men, even if he's averaging 1.6 per game. But if you want to build a winning team, you have to take into consideration players like Carlos Suarez. In fact, every great team must have a player like him to play alongside the big stars who do what they do on the floor because they can work on scoring. All the other stuff is up to Carlos.
Let's
say that my duty is not as spectacular as the other players, but every team must have players who do this kind of job. Defense, rebounds, passing. These are not very showy moves for the fans, but they are important all the same.
Pero bueno, que también son muy importantes.
Like last season, Real Madrid are one of the most gifted offensive teams thanks to their wealth of talent and, of course, running. Nothing is occasional, and Carlos knows exactly why.
We must have a very aggressive defense. And what's very important is to control the rebounds. This allows us to run a lot, to score easy baskets. Because we have many fast, explosive players who can run the floor very well. That's a thing the fans like very much.
When he was just 19, he played in his first Euroleague with Estudiantes, reaching, among other things, his Euroleague career high, scoring 20 points in Piraeus against Olympiacos. It was the 2004-05 season. The next Turkish Airlines Euroleague he played in was 2 years ago with Real Madrid, but he will never forget those years with his first club.
The youth team at Estudiantes has always had great players, and they give you the opportunity to play as a professional player. Then, I learned many things.
Since the beginning of the season, Real have always been used to being at the top of the standings. What's more important, perhaps, is that they are solid, pragmatic, yet a spectacular team. Maybe these are the right ingredients to go all the way.
We're in the middle of a project that has been developing over the last few years. We're earning great experience. We're all young players with many years of basketball. And hopefully, this year or next year, we can get what the club wants from us, the Euroleague.
Carlos couldn't avoid defeat for his side against a superb Panathinaikos Athens Thursday night, despite providing his usual performance made of hard work rather than points scored. He scored the first tie of the game shortly after half-time, and from then on the two teams went toe-to-toe until the very last second. The story of the game is written by Rudy Fernandez and Nikola Mirotic on the Spanish side, and Dimitris Diamantidis helped by an inspired Costas Papanikolaou among the greens. With Panathinaikos leading by 3 thanks to Roko Ukic, The last minute came down to a shootout of free throws where the Greens eventually came out on top 74-73, which leaves the team from Athens just one win away from the playoffs. You may remember our coverage from the first ever German derby in the history of the Turkish Airlines Euroleague. The second part of this particular domestic challenge was played last week, but this time the traditional city of Bamberg hosted the clash. It was a special night for Alba Berlin's forward Sven Schulze. The player of class 78 was born in Bamberg, and that's where he entered the professional circuit back in 1996.
Bamberg, there's the only thing what's really important and going on in the city, because it's a very small city, it's basketball. They have a soccer team, but they're not very good.
Bamberg is living an amazing top 16 campaign because although they are yet to win a match in the second phase of the competition, they came into week 12 with 6 defeats by 3 points or less. That's a good opportunity to talk about how this club can improve, starting winning some matches and possibly fight for a top 8 place in the future.
I think the Bamberg just did a great job in the last 3 years, and we were still good competitors in the Euroleague. So we do everything possible, and management and everybody do everything possible to be successful in Euroleague. We got to win our domestic league to be able to play the Euroleague. So those are our goals, and we want to stay in Euroleague as a team that always can be the part of it.
We could say that the second and last top 16 game of the season between Brose Baskets and Alba assigned a sort of regional title between the two German sides. And Sven Schulze knew that the home fans were waiting for an exciting basketball night.
It has always been a basketball city and a big tradition, and when I played there, they played in a smaller gym. It was like a school gym with only one side of bleachers and behind the baskets a little bit. And the gym was holding 2,000 people maybe. And now with this arena where 7,000 fits in, ever since they got this arena, it's every time sold out, and it's called Freak City because everybody's going pretty crazy when they play good.
Brose Baskets and Alba honoured the event as expected, giving the crowd an exciting game until the very end. Jekyll Foster gave Alba their biggest advantage with a 3-possession lead in the first half, maintained by Deshaun Woods. Then Brose came back before half-time at 42-40, with Casey Jacobson tied by Wood at the buzzer. No team took control after the break, so the game went right down to the wire. It was up to Foster to decide the game with a triple. It eventually ended 75-72 for Alba Berlin. The leaders FC Barcelona Regal were set to begin Group F action on Thursday. Charles Judson Wallace, better known as CJ, was a brilliant student at the famous Princeton University, where he also began his basketball career that allowed him to travel around the world. After Germany, Italy and Gran Canaria, he signed to Barcelona last season to strengthen their front line. As a creative power forward who can make plays from his beloved high post, he enjoys playing in a team with an unbelievable ball handling quality, especially among the guards.
Probably have like 3 of like the best passing point guards of all time, you know, Marcelinho, Shadunas, and Vic. And then on down the line, you know, positions 2, 3, 4, 5. We have guys that just are good passers and like to make other people better.
As everybody feels connected around a great system of play, Wallace and his teammates are not only effective, but also great to watch. The reason for this is simple. They call it altruism.
When you have a team that does that, that helps with the chemistry and also helps with, you know, making you seem like you maybe have more talent than you have, because those are the kind of shots that you need to win games. And then when you create many opportunities to pass the ball, every now and then there's a chance to add some, flair or some, fancy top three type stuff.
When you have a guy like Wallace in your team and a good bond, then it all becomes that much easier. He's the kind of guy whose stroke of genius transforms a delayed flight into a funny situation. He became legendary in Capo d'Orlando, Sicily, thanks to his instinct for comedy.
We had to keep ourselves, entertained. We were a real small team in Italy. We couldn't buy like fancy iPads and all that kind of stuff. So, we played hide and seek. And it wasn't a very big airport, so there wasn't a lot of places to hide. And there was a kind of a store right there, kind of near the base. And while the guy was counting, I went in there and put on a helmet and had a bag and just kind of stood in the window for a little while. And the lady that was working the store was very nice. She let me get away with it, but no one found me for like 15 or 20 minutes. And I finally, I won.
CJ was a main factor in the game against Caja Laboral with a season-high 13 points in 13 minutes. His teammate Ante Tomic gave Barca a 15-point lead, but it was not over. Caja Laboral gradually made their way back into the game and actually took the lead on 52-53 with Maciej Lampe. Then Erezem Lorbek began his outstanding performance. Immediately after Lampe's layup, he scored 6 in a 9-0 run started by Juan Carlos Navarro. Then added another 10 points in the second half, including the last triple for the final 83-74 scoreline. Even in his first Turkish Airlines Euroleague appearance, Petteri Koponen has shown all his worth. All his seasonal stats talk about a young, promising talent already at the top. 6.3 points and almost 2 assists per game with good shooting percentages. Not bad for the almost 25-year-old rookie in 15 minutes per game. That's why it's not surprising if he became the bwin MVP of the week on Friday night in the 99-76 win over Fenerbahce Ulka Istanbul. Petteri put together some unbelievable numbers. 23 points, 7 for 8 from the floor with a perfect 4 for 4 by 2, 6 for 6 from the line, 7 assists, adding 2 rebounds and 5 fouls drawn for a performance index rating of 35, one of the top of the season. On Friday night, 2 of the 5 teams fighting for the playoffs in Group F met, with defending champions Olympiacos Piraeus among them. 22-year-old forward Costas Papanikolaou has been a key factor for the Reds since grabbing a major role last season. He perfectly complements the likes of Vasilis Spanoulis and his more experienced teammates, and he is often referred to as the facilitator.
Making the things easier for your team and make the team's plays better if you can, always make you happy. All I'm trying to do is play some good defense, grab some rebounds and give my team as much energy as I can give,
Costas was entering week 12 with a perfect 50% from the three-point range, considering the whole season. He's making big plays in every game, and if you're not surprised to see him getting open shots in the crucial moments, then you must appreciate his work off the ball, which is what gets him in the right situation.
When you have such creators like Vasilis and good players like Pridesis that they can read the court, or Ace or Lucas now, they can read the court and find the open players, All you have to do is to spread the court and be ready to receive some passes and attack from there, or with a three-point shot or from a closeout.
Those particular skills are coming from his everyday work and his attention to detail. But as every lucky young player will testify, he took advantage of his playing time in the great games throughout his early professional years. This is his fourth Turkish Airlines Euroleague season, and the victory in 2012 is the moment when his apprenticeship came to an end and he became a true top-level player.
Euroleague Championship is something great, you know, it's something that you can describe. From there on, of course, they give me confidence because I have more trust on myself. And also my teammates have more trust on me. So I think it worked for all of us good.
Papanikolaou and Olympiacos had a difficult task on Friday night, hosting a Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv side coming off 4 victories. The Israeli team went into the lead straight away, despite Papanikolaou's effort to keep his team closer. After the break, Ricky Hickman increased the lead to 17, but the champions came back within 7 points after 30 minutes. Maccabi turned to Devon Smith, who hit an amazing deep three-pointer as he and Ricky Hickman virtually closed the game. Maccabi won 73-67, joining Olympiacos, Montepaschi and Himki on 7 wins, one more than Caja Laboral, all ready for a fantastic run to the playoffs. Now let's take a look at the top 3 plays of the week.
Number 3, Barcelona, Spain. After Barcelona Regal's Sarunas Jasikevicius makes eye contact with Nate Jawai, the guard throws a perfect pass to the center for an alley-oop jam. Number 2, Malaga, Spain. Just before halftime, Augusto Lima of Unicaja rises for the monster block. Then Zoran Dragic feeds Earl Calloway for a buzzer-beating layup. Great team effort by Unicaja. And the number 1 play of the week, Istanbul, Turkey. Game tied at 70-70. Tutku Açık of Beşiktaş drives and scores with 1 second left to win the game for the hosts.
That's it for now, but before we leave you, here's the next Game of the Week. A special edition of the Game of the Week marks 50 years of intense rivalry between 2 world basketball icons. CSKA Moscow hosts Real Madrid on Thursday evening in a fight to earn home advantage for the Turkish Airlines Euroleague playoffs. The first Game of the Week ever held in Russia comes with an early tip-off at 5:45 p.m. Central European Time. Both teams booked their place in the next stage of Euroleague competition in Week 12, as CSKA put away Unicaja Malaga with a clutch victory on the road. That put the Russian side, Real Madrid and Anadolu Efes into the playoffs, but there is still plenty at stake in the meeting between 2 powerhouses of the competition. Along with deciding who gets to open up the playoffs at home, this game is also a chance for revenge for CSKA Moscow. It suffered an overtime defeat last time around in the first meeting between the 2 sides since 2009. For Real Madrid, the game is an opportunity to snap its first streak of consecutive losses this season. Following close defeats against Unicaja Malaga and Panathinaikos Athens, Pablo Lazo's side cannot afford another slip-up if it wants to top Group E and will be looking for a tie-break advantage over CSKA. That previous game between the Game of the Week competitors ended 86-78 to Real Madrid. JC Carroll was the standout for Los Blancos with a career-high 31 points and 6 from 8 shooting from downtown. A double-double from Rudy Fernandez showed that Madrid has plenty of big-game players capable of taking down a fellow EuroLeague giant. While beating CSKA at home is one thing, going to the Mega Sports Palace is quite another. The Russian side has only lost there twice this season. In 4 games between the two in Russia since the turn of the millennium, the record is split down the middle. Madrid came away with the win in 2001, but would have to wait until 2008 to get any victory against the Red Army. CSKA is as potent as ever this season. Former MVP Milos Teodosic leads his team into this battle, looking for his own big shots and even bigger passes to veteran warriors Nenad Kurstic and Victor Kriapa. Real Madrid has Fernandez, virtuoso JC Carroll and super talent Nikola Mirotic all in imperious form. Something has to give, so mark this one down in your calendar. CSKA Moscow and Real Madrid, 17:45 Central European Time this Thursday in the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague Game of the Week.
Turkish Airlines EuroLeague.